My name is Samia. I'm from Afghanistan. My journey and pathway into Afghan dance was the music of Afghanistan. I was born in Kabul, Afghanistan. We were part of the first wave of Afghan immigrants who came to the US right after the Soviet invasion. Afghan dance is very mysterious in that when people see it, they recognize it as Afghan dance. The rhythmic movement in the body, the engagement with the audience and with other dancers. In Afghanistan, there was no such support or appreciation of dance as an art form amongst the Afghan community. It's such a deep, intimate part of our culture that is kept hidden. And because it hasn't been studied and documented properly, there are people that have come to me, for example, and have said there's no such thing as dance in Afghanistan. The only thing Afghanistan has is atan. Atan is our dance form. It's a circular dance form it's a communal dance form that most cultures have, especially in the Middle East, that has been preserved for centuries. But when it comes to social dancing, folk dancing, even shamanic dance forms that we see in the Hazara community, if you go to any Afghan family's house, as soon as the music turns on, people will want to move, even if they're just moving their shoulders. Movement is such an intimate part of our expression. It's an intimate part of us appreciating the music in our culture. It's how we appreciate music. My goal, my lifetime goal, will be to find these people who have it in the memories in their bodies, the movement, in the memories in their minds of what they witnessed in their own villages, in their own towns throughout history. Sitara was a big inspiration for me, so I do utilize her movement and her forms and her naz. Naz is the word. Naz is like just the tenderness and the flirty tenderness that comes with her movements. I remember coming across a video of her dancing, and it's very it's very subtle and nuanced, and she grabs her scarf and she sews it, and it's very, very subtle, very beautiful. And you can see in her movements, her feet are very close together, very small, tiny steps we call maida maida. Maida maida. Her hands are very soft and delicate. And she has this coy way of looking at the camera and then down. And all these gestures and movements are very indicative of how women are expected to be in Afghan culture. Now I question these movements, not in a negative way, but I did not know that I was holding so much trauma in my body, and that your class really allowed me to let go of the taboos that held me in as a child, as an Afghan girl. In some Muslim communities, the female bodies should be covered. Dance threatens that status quo. It's a threat because it brings joy to the woman. It makes her feel empowered in her body. All the expression is in the upper body. Feet are mainly there to help you travel. The wrists do a lot of storytelling. There's a lot of flow of the fingers. There's a very delicate nature to the movement. There's such variety. There's a lot of clapping and flicking, picking a flower, for example, or playing rubab. The face is also framed in a lot of ways. There's a lot of covering and revealing with the hands. The more content, the more information, the more data we can gather, the better off we are in the future. Unfortunately, within the last year and a half, everything has shifted into almost an upside down world in Afghanistan, so that whatever remains, we can't even access it if we wanted to right now. I don't want to talk about Taliban so much, but they pose a threat to culture in general. Just last week, the Taliban bombed a very well-known library in Afghanistan, one of many. There were a lot of artifacts that were destroyed, a lot of historical poetry that were never reprinted that were destroyed. There is so much yet to uncover when it comes to Afghan dance. Now I really find that there's an opportunity here for us. We don't want to lose our connections to what has already evolved in Afghanistan over the last hundreds, thousands of years.